Elizabeth, how's it going?
Hi, good, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Glad to see you.
Good.
And happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday too.
So you're in Los Angeles right now,
Yeah, in Burbank.
in Burbank.
Yeah.
I love the Burbank airport. Shout out. I see that you're still in the Halloween spirit. How was your Halloween?
My Halloween was one of the most beautiful sunsets days I ever seen. So it was perfect. Bes-
Yeah,
bes- Besides seeing the kids dressed up, which is what I enjoy about it. I don't dress up myself, but I like to see the kids dressed up. It's cute.
it is cute. I held it down, so to speak, handing out some candy. Made certain that no one took all of the bowl at once, although that's kind of, I think, a thing. And I carved a pumpkin, so I'm happy to say that I share in your Halloween spirit. The sunset that you are talking about, though,
Yeah.
at least it seemed like everybody that I know in Southern California just had like the same beautiful sort of picturesque orange sort of dripping cloud sunset photos.
Yeah.
We didn't have that here in Boston, but
Yeah, I'm so glad we had it here because remember before when we talked, I don't know what day it was, but I had a painting back here behind me of a dripping sky. And I never seen a dripping sky until Halloween. And I had painted that dripping sky before Halloween. So I was like, oh my God, that's pretty crazy.
you kind of manifested it, to be honest.
I don't know, but sometimes I have things like that happen in my life and I just don't know what to call them or anything. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
So let's talk about this for a second. These certain things in your life,
Yeah.
because I know that you have a somewhat extensive mask collection.
Yeah. Yes.
And you said that you don't normally get dressed up for Halloween, but here we are
No,
with masks and whatnot.
I know. It's kind of funny. Yeah. I would like to wear a mask all the time when I went out, but I think somebody will be like calling the police and be like, this person is crazy. This is not Halloween.
Well, as I mentioned, I love this mask. I'm very curious. Does it have a name?
No, it doesn't. But it's just when I started the blue paintings, which we can talk about it later, I did this mask, this blue face. So I don't know. I guess it just goes with my blue paintings.
Perfect. It's perfect. So how many masks in total?
I think I have more like 25 because I forgot that I already gave one to somebody. So I think it's like 25 masks.
They're really perfect.
I love them.
And I don't mean to shower you with so many compliments in the very beginning of the podcast either.
Yeah, I love my masks.
So you make all of the masks.
Yes.
And what would you say, before we jump into the rest of the pod, just what would you say like triggers your inspiration to sort of add to this mask collection?
It's just so easy to get tired of seeing my face that I'm like, I need a mask. And also, I guess I get tired of a mask and then I need a new one. So
I would do the exact same thing. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about the fact that I need probably more masks.
You always need that new mask. I guess like I'm changing, so my masks keep changing too. So, but my face doesn't change other than getting older. But
well, nonetheless, let's go back to the very beginning. And where are you from?
I guess I better take off my mask.
With you.
I'm just gonna pull it up and reveal my real mask. I'm from Mexico, Guadalajara.
And how would you describe yourself when you were growing up there in Mexico?
Not a lot different from now, but really shy and introverted and very, I don't know, I just like to observe a lot. So I think that kind of makes me more introverted because I'm just like looking around. Like I prefer to observe than to be part of things, maybe. I just want to be like there and not say anything and just like observe people's behavior.
Yeah, no, I mean, observing the world, being a people watcher, whatever you want to say, these are real things. And I think that they're actually very, very important things. And I think that it's always kind of a funny one when you're somebody that observes the world, see things a certain way, and yet at the same time in settings like school, for example, the expectation is to produce a certain kind of answer, a very specific answer most of the time.
Yeah.
Rather than just sort of being like, nah, I'm good. Let me just keep observing.
Yeah. Yeah, you are forced to participate, I guess, verbally. Yeah.
And you said that you grew up with a close family experience, but that at the same time, when you were growing up, you still sort of felt this kind of need to sort of be either with yourself and your thoughts, and at the same time, ironically, always with everybody else in your family.
Yeah. I thought about that. I come from a big family. We are 6 kids. And then my dad, my mom, and we always had like other relatives close around us. So my house was always a really busy place. So I don't know, since I was little, I just wanted to have time for myself and I guess my thoughts. And it was kind of hard for me to find that space. And what was the question?
I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It just seems like you were able to kind of hone your observational skills in that kind of a setting. And, I think it's very rare too that people develop great listening skills. Like listening today is sort of a lost talent, I find.
Yeah, it is.
And it's very difficult to sort of produce great stories, like you're saying, if you can't absorb and observe what's happening in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so it seems like you are intrinsically very good at that.
I'm not a good storyteller, but I feel like I have learned a lot about human behavior just from observing. Yeah.
So tell me about the transition of, like you said, going from being an observer. I know that you said you, I think, left Mexico at 17 or 18, yeah?
Yeah, close to 18.
And suddenly you find yourself in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So describe.
And I have been living here 18 years now too, so it's my double 18 birthday.
So happy birthday to your.
It's not yet my birthday though, sorry, but it's November 15, but almost.
You're November 15. I'm November 8.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Scorpio's in the house.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah. So describe just that feeling of observing your life before going to Los Angeles and then landing there and suddenly taking in a whole new set of observations.
Well, being born or landing, how I like to say it more like I feel like I landed in Mexico more than belonging to Mexico. Thanks to my mom, I was able to come here through her, which I'm really grateful for that. Well, over there, it's kind of weird because since I was really little, I kind of feel like there had to be something else somewhere else, like life over there, or what I used to see seemed like, is there anything else? Like, I don't know. I guess I wanted to experience something else so little. And when I was gonna come here to LA, I thought, oh, this is my opportunity to see something different. So I was really excited, and at the same time also it's like I've been living 18 years over there and I never seen any other place, like I never really traveled or anything. So it was a big change. And coming here, it was like being born again to me, because I had to learn a different language. It's like your language is not of use here, so you have to learn how to speak again and live in this place like an animal removed from from your habitat, but really transformative. I think it was for me to leave Mexico.
And when you were there, sort of, you know, experiencing all these new things, as you know, anybody would, whether they're from Mexico going to Los Angeles, or I would say like anywhere else in the country going to Los Angeles. I mean, Los Angeles, as everybody knows, it's sort of a, you know, an environment unto itself. It's a really unique place. It's a really big place.
Yeah.
But
it seemed like that. Like I remember coming here at night and I saw where all the freeways cross, and I'm like, oh my God, is this like a futuristic movie or something? Like I never seen anything like that. So it was really interesting, you know, and kind of scary too.
so like that must have started to switch on certain things for you. And, you know, I loved what you said about the fact that you didn't really maybe fully start to kind of come to be more in touch with, you know, your art making until you started dating your husband, and you're like on a date in a restaurant sketching on a placemat or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to me because at the moment I didn't think about it, but obviously I was more comfortable drawing than speaking, which is, I don't know where it came from, but I guess that's how I am. And I remember just like for dates, I wouldn't even speak a word, almost like just like hi and go to a restaurant, eat, and just like draw and draw and draw. And for my birthday, one time he gave me a little sketchbook and a few pencils and other things. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I love the materials. I have always loved materials. That was my favorite thing about going to school, to unpack all the pencils, the pen, and all of the smell. And so, but it wasn't until we got married that I started drawing and drawing until now, which is almost 10 years now.
I mean, just out of curiosity, did you save any of these placemats?
I have a few, but not a lot. No.
So that was obviously really transformational. You know,
Yeah.
You're in a new place. You're, you know, dating somebody that you're eventually gonna, you know, marry and build a family with, and you're discovering this like inner superpower, this inner passion.
Yeah.
And that's massively transformative and, you know, super inspiring. And so I don't know, like talk about how that discovery of your art making has been something that's in a sense, helped you find peace with the world around you, and also help you kind of be just this independent force by yourself?
I feel like when I left Mexico, and then when I got married and I left, like I put distance in my family naturally by being married. I feel like I started thinking about all the past and trying to understand who I was, but at the same time I was drawing, and I didn't question it. I didn't think, why am I drawing so much? I just fucking did it, and it was because I enjoyed it. And then I questioned, where did this come from? Like, why am I doing this? Because I would do it for hours. Like while my husband was working, that was all the time. I'd be just drawing and drawing hours. Like I did so many drawings, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, where did this suddenly appear or what? Like I didn't understand it. And but I just continued. I didn't know where it was gonna take me or anything. And in some ways, I kind of learned through my drawings. I learned about me. Like I could see some things revealed in my drawings about me, like my essence, or even like one image, for example. I had a painting on my wall, and then suddenly I was looking at it, and it reminded me of an image in my bedroom when I was little that had a lot of impact in my life. And I was like, oh my God, did that image come from that? Like I kind of felt like they were connected. And it was really moving to realize that, like in my art, something of my spirit was revealed, something like that.
Without a doubt. No, without a doubt. I mean, from our conversations and what you shared, and I have a couple quotes here stored up, so buckle up for the quotes. So I love what you told me about your art and how you aim for what is uncomplicated. And here comes the quote. Simple works inspired by simple things. That's you. But as we were talking, there's obviously this great richness and meaning in what has gone into them and the energy behind them. And it's like so undeniable. And it's very immediate for the viewer.
Well, I'm happy for that. Yeah, I think it's not something to be understood. Like I told you with an essay, like I cannot explain it, or I don't even want to. It's like something that is felt. It's just felt, I think.
Yeah, and the feeling that you're seeking is one of lightness in all that you do.
Yes.
Again, is so immediate, I think, to anybody that, comes face to face with what you produce, and you said lightness of spirit, like a feather,
Yes.
without trapping yourself with language, light, formless, and direct.
Yeah. That's like a prayer. Yeah.
It's a beautiful quote, and it's from you.
Yeah, that's what I hope for.
So you really just sort of feel it, right? Which, again, I think, like being a good listener these days is very rare. I also think that a lot of us are great at feeling certain things. I also think that sometimes what we feel maybe in the moment isn't really it's almost like sometimes we have to find what's underneath that.
Yeah.
Because the moment just sort of gives us all these like inputs all the time,
Yeah.
and it's too much. And I think that like what you're doing is just so perfectly represented by, you had this clip where you taped or recorded yourself dancing in this like circle while you were painting.
Yeah.
And it was like so obviously, you know, it's kind of burned this image into my mind because I'm like, man, like talk about the personification of being in that moment and feeling what is sort of the important thing to feel.
Yeah. I guess it's giving yourself to the present, to the feelings are, I don't know. Of course, we're always feeling, and it's like feelings can be sometimes like not that important, but they're ultimately, I realize energy, and you, to me, it just like gives me so much energy, like I can feel it building up inside me. And anything, like just from looking at things, listening, smells, objects, anything, people's feelings, like I feel like I can feel people's feelings so much. So I feel like I absorb all this energy, and then I just use it when I paint instead of using it, because also feelings and emotions, I think they can be really destructive sometimes. Like if you just let yourself feel anything and act on your feelings, it could be destructive. It doesn't always is constructive. So what I want is to use that energy for something constructive. And that's what I think I do with my paintings.
Well, and I love the you know, fact, like you said, that with what you do, you never need to accompany it with this sort of manifesto or essay or explanation of what's going on, which is like super cool. And at the same time, you know, you did reveal to me that you have a certain level of attraction to certain colors, and that there are other colors that you maybe are not quite as attracted to.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the color blue, and there's more questions with respect to the color blue. But another quote for you that involves the color blue. We were talking about it, and it was just so interesting because you were like telling me that you love the sky. And in fact, you said that the sky is the greatest fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say it again many times. Yeah, it is the greatest fucking thing. Yes.
Night or daytime.
Yes.
But the ocean and all of its blue expanse, a different feeling.
Yeah. It just scares me so much, the ocean. And I don't know why the sky like doesn't, even though they both feel infinite.
So even though you don't actually love the color blue, you've been working quite a lot with the blue in order to sort of work with what you don't want.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. Why is it that I have to, and this is also since I was little, so it's like you change, and somehow other things about your essence don't change of who you are. And I was remember when I was little, anything that scared me is like I had to face it, or something that bothered me. I couldn't look away. Like if I looked away, it just made it worse. So since I was little, I have always been like that. I would imagine like the worst thing happening to me. Like I lost an arm, and then I would act as if I only had one arm, just to see what if, yeah, like just to see, can I survive? Or I don't know. I always have thoughts like that. I don't know why. Or if I was blind, and then I would practice around the house. Yes. So I think I just have that I have to confront what I don't like. So in the studio is the blues. Even though I do love blue, like I love this blue shirt, I love blue and other things, but and the sky, of course. But for painting, I noticed that I would avoid the blues. So moving here to Burbank is when I felt like I had to face the blues. So that's what I'm doing.
Look, I think I said this before, as somebody's half Irish, I'm half Italian, which means I'm 100% sort of connected to some levels of unforetold mysticisms and subtleties. And I get it. I mean, yeah, I think that's super cool. And I like the fact, like you said, that you're making peace with blue through this work.
Yeah. I think I have gotten to the point now that I fucking love them now. And I thought I was gonna stop with one of my paintings. I thought, okay, that's it. I have like, I think I have over 200 blue works now. Yeah, and I have 2 more that I'm working on. But now I can stop working on the blues. So I don't know when it's gonna stop.
So you've conquered the blues.
Yeah, I feel like I conquered the blues. Now I love them. I could make them a song, a poem.
And I liked what you said too, the fact that, like, I guess the expression to have the blues is an expression that's a little bit more unique to like here, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I realized about that. I didn't even know it was called feeling the blues. And or what I feel blue, yeah. Is it? Yeah. But in Spanish, I never heard that. So I kinda, in some ways, I guess also I related it once I got here to something negative and or dark. So maybe that even added to my wanting to not work on the blues. I don't know.
And just for the record, you did say that the colors that you are more naturally attracted to are orange, red, and lilac.
Yeah, red for sure. I have always loved red since I was little. I have a memory of me, one of the happiest memories of me wearing a red skirt as a little girl. And just like, I love that the skirt had so much volume that when I turn around spinning, it would make it go like beautiful waves like that. And I remember being on the sidewalk in my neighborhood and just like turning and turning, and I kind of felt like nothing else was happening. I don't remember what was happening around me. I just loved spinning and seeing my skirt spin. It's a beautiful memory I have. And by now I'm like, did that even happen or did I dream it? I don't know.
I mean, look, you basically did the exact same move in the video that I'm talking about.
Yeah. I just missing my red skirt.
No, you got the spin move pretty down. You probably know this, but you're good to go with the spin.
I love to spin.
So some final bits of commentary here. I really also enjoyed just like what you said about the kind of idea or feeling of, like, I think like you said, you were like, you said that you felt like you were that you were a celestial more than anything.
Yeah.
Which is such a cool, thing to think about. And that you said that you wanted to be less self-absorbed in the ways of humanity, which I think is brilliant and also very hard to do. That you never forget the power of miracles, and that you and all of us can basically, like, hopefully always look up to the sky and find something really to be thankful for.
Yeah, that's how it works for me. Every time I'm feeling like wrapped up in my little world and drama and all this, I think like all the man-made things, which a lot of the problems are man-made. It's like thinking about that and then feeling, I guess, overwhelmed by that. And there's a powerful thing about just looking up. To me, it's just like, oh my God, suddenly it's like I take off. Like things become smaller naturally, and I feel lighter, like I'm floating. Yeah.
Well, look, I definitely took so much away from kind of getting this sort of perspective from you, because it's, I think it's a very, I don't want to say it's an easy perspective to follow, because so much of us, so much of what we do every day is kind of, you know, like you said, very integrated into all these other things that make the human experience what it is. But to be able to kind of boil it all down to just looking up and feeling a level of like thankfulness like that is pretty cool.
I think it makes me just more grateful and in some ways more loving. And I think that's it. I cannot think of another word, but it's such a simple thing to do it, and it's easy, it's free. You just have to do it. It's like great medicine.
I 1000% agree. I think that's a wonderful way to describe it.
Yeah.
And so look, so without a doubt, thank you so much for all of the energy that you put into everything.
Well, thank you for appreciating my work on Instagram and posting my drawings.
Oh, it's my
I
pleasure.
appreciate that you like the simple ones like me.
I love them. No, they're so pure. They're so hard hitting.
I think my son has made me a little bit more pure, or taking me back to the, yeah.
Well, look, all I can say is that I hope that you and your family have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much again for taking the time, and would love to do this again with you.
Okay, thank you, John. Thank you for having me and being interested in what I have to say, other than with my paintings, a little of verbal communication.
I agree. No, it's always necessary, and it's you know, it's always my pleasure, because you know, connecting and learning these new things. I don't know. It's kind of what makes life fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, and let's talk again soon.
Okay. Bye.
All right.